non-denominational, secular churches. They cater to a lot of your indigent care, white and black, folks that some of them homeless, and they've grown this thing into, there's now a little school, and I think there's some grants and financial opportunities out there that have allowed them to expand. So yeah, I forgot about the Harvest, but they've got a great youth program. There's a very, I've seen the Methodist Church, you know, hang out with Mount Olive. I've seen all that. We've done exchanges.
Church swaps.
Yeah, swaps. I mean, that's, Mount Olive has a men's breakfast deal once a year that they recognize a lot of us in the community from all walks. We have one, Sing with One Voice, at the Catholic Church, where all the denominations show up with their A game, and it is just a jam out night of gospel music. I mean, and that's a huge deal. You can't get into the church. And Father Ron will be able to expand on that tomorrow. He's been a huge component. And you're talking about a leader in town. You know, Reverend Hardin's not from here, but this is home. Father Ron's not from here, but this is home. Both of those men could have gone anywhere larger,
in the world,
bigger,
in the US,
made more money, brought more people, more flock in, but they've stayed here for a reason. Walter's another prime example. Walter could be state representative if he wanted to, staying here. So it's got its little magnet. You know, it's a weird, you know, it's a dynamic that when you know you're going to end up in one place the rest of your life, you're going, okay, now I got to deal with it. With respect to the bird incident, it is going to always be here, and in a good way. You know, we've got parks, we've got community trying to work towards the harmony. You know, as these type of scenarios come up. You reopen what was almost closed, but I don't know if you can ever close something that to that extent. That was such a tragedy, and our community just has to deal with it and move forward. We don't have to apologize for it. Whether I'm from Jasper, born in Jasper, just lived there a little while, this town has more to give good than bad. The business community is self-supporting. White and black have opportunities here to move up. I think the black race is as well represented now as ever. And it's not because of James Byrd. Before James Byrd, they were on city council. They were our community leaders. They were our teachers and our coaches. Now, don't let me be the guy that living with blinders on. I may not know some things from 15, 20, 30 years ago. But I do know from those minority leaders who I've talked to about all of this, because I've got to do this on an everyday basis when customers move into our community. I got to be able to tell both sides of the story. And there are clearly both sides to the story. When it comes to James Byrd, I like to believe that Jasper has to defend itself because of 3 people only, not because of Jasper. That's the big message here, is this town did not deserve the defense of 3 acts. And that's probably the toughest nut to crack when you're really trying to sell yourself in a community as a leader, is you just come to our little town. You know, spend some time here. It needs a little pressure wash. Hurricane Ike came through, Hurricane Rita came through, there was our pressure wash. Really.
And that's why it looks so clean now.
Well, it's getting better. You know, it's trying. We were on a big committee with commissioners today, and the police chief and the sheriff and all of us, on trying to get underground wiring. You know, you can't go to Waco and see a wire over the highway anymore. Everything's underground. Well, that costs money. You know, and of course, you know, something as simple as underground wiring is something we need to think about. But do we really need to put that as a priority in this community? Because then you got to go ask the folks to vote for it, and they're not going to. You know, just something that simple. We try to move forward, and you can't. But I'm way off subject.
No, you're not. So tell me, you can stay on that subject. What are the major jobs that people can find in this area? What are the big industries in Jasper?
Obviously, your school system is solid. Even with the cuts, we still survived. I think we had 8 to 10 maybe. And a lot of those folks were considering getting out or moving on. So we didn't get hit hard as bad as we thought we would be. Timber has diversified. It's still probably 500 jobs in that particular sector lost since 1990.
And at first it was about 1,500, and now it's just 500, or?
1,200 total employment jobs, including some of the other factories that have left, is the number that's in my mind. I would say 500 to 600 were timber-related industry.
Okay.
Fuel, trucking, mechanical repairs, actual, Lloyd and I getting behind the truck and going and getting the logs out in the country and bringing them back has revitalized itself. Temple Inland sold out to Campbell. Campbell now is going into a lot of these places you just didn't go into, couldn't go into. And now folks are saying, I can get my machine back there, let's go get it. Now they're getting paid to do that again. It's a resurgence. I wouldn't say it's a boom. Your financial institutions, we've got 5 or 6, 7 banks.
Yeah. Well, so
You know, where's that coming
How many did you
from?
have at the time?
Two to three.
we had
When-
First National, First Bank Trust.
And community,
Community, that was it. Now we have 7
7 or 8. You know,
You
and
have
people.
Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you have the big banks.
We don't
and
have
then you
Wells.
some of the-
We don't have Bank of America. We've got Compass.
Mhm.
We've got 4 credit unions
Okay.
that have come from the Golden Triangle to kind of take the growth. It's a nature tourism, hunting, fishing. Lloyd can tell you.
Yeah, type
Uh,
of community.
We shut down at noon here on Fridays. It's just a
That's
good little
good.
community, and you can go to the river this way, you can go to the river that way, you can go to 2 beautiful lakes this way, you can go to deer leases, hunting leases, do what you want to do, and by the nighttime be back, you know, with the kids at the barbecue. So it's a good,
Family
easy
oriented.
getaway. Whereas in Waco, you probably got to make a little trip and to make it a destination. We kind of have it all here.
It's nice.
But back to your question, banking has gotten a resurgence. Our highway system, if you've noticed, we've got a pretty major military corridor, 190, goes all the way to San Diego,
Wow.
through Belton.
Mhm.
It peels, everything ties in, goes through San Antonio, El Paso, all the way to the base in San Diego, and goes all the way to South Carolina.
I didn't know that.
So 190-63
Mhm.
is a little 4-point intersection, and then you've got 96 that goes all the way to Chicago,
Okay.
through Little Rock, ties into 30, tills into one of the other 29s or something up there.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of rail hidden between the trees.
Mhm.
You know, our infrastructure is set up, we're 60 miles from anything really close.
Mhm.
So that's kind of why they call it a jewel in the forest. It's, we love y'all, thank you for coming, but don't mess with our little community. It's a big
We
secret.
like it this way.
You know, it really is a big secret. You can't find a white or a black in this community that does not like the outdoors.
Mhm.
It's not just a white thing that goes camping and
Right.
hiking.
Mhm.
Everybody hunts, everybody
fishes,
hikes,
everybody does
everybody
horses.
fishes.
Right.
It's awesome.
And that's been that way since the
Since
community
I
was.
grew up with it, and I mean, like, for me growing up playing tennis, I had 4 or 5 black friends that played tennis.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't know it was that big, not that much of a big deal, so I left here and noticed, well, not all blacks play tennis, because I played with some of the key
Mhm.
black people in town, so
Right.
Wow.
it was just kind of like.
And you know, trail rides,
Mhm.
you know, that's a big traditional minority
Right.
heritage,
Right.
trail rides. Well,
Mhm.
man, I live on the west side of town, and I got trail rides every weekend coming by the house. I mean, we love it. It's
Mhm.
just the way it's supposed to be.
So things aren't as divided by race here as they are in some other areas? Is that what you're saying?
I would definitely go on the books of saying that. I have definitely been, when I was in Dallas, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot more obvious there than it is here.
Mhm.
Now, we don't want to get into, we've got some issues in town right now that we're divided again.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I guess the best way to put it is, it's to be expected
With change.
with change. It's fair to say that, you know.
Mhm.
You're going to always defend somebody in the deal. Everybody in this play is good. They're all good people.
Mhm.
Some folks say it the right way,
Mhm.
the politically correct way. Other folks just say it,
Mhm.
and it comes out the wrong way. But in their mind, it's the right way.
Mhm.
So, you know, I back off on all of that. As a small business owner, it's going to hurt our town if we don't get back together. Huge. you're not gonna